Hi everyone, it's Chukuma from Mastermind Automobile Solutions. Today we want to talk about 6 ways you can make your CVT last long. CVTs are a type of automatic transmissions which manufacturers have begun to increasingly favor. We're going to list out these ways. Kindly pay attention, like our video, subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment. Thank you. So the number one way of trying to make your CVT last longer, you see some people, their CVTs just give out, while some other people's own, they last for a longer time. I've seen some that have close to 200,000 miles. Now, CVT transmissions were made specifically to give out more fuel efficiency. So manufacturers are increasingly favoring it because they help them deliver better fuel economy numbers. They are also easier to produce, lighter in weight, so they are more complex to install in an engine. So you'd see more people favoring it. You see CVTs typically or mostly in smaller vehicles. You see CVTs mostly in smaller vehicles because this, when you put them in heavier vehicles, they tend to burn out faster. From my experience, that's what I've observed. Now, manufacturers have perfected this CVT gradually, so you would see that the problems from the CVTs are not as much as they used to be. Now, some car manufacturers got burned. Nissan is a typical case. They had a lot of problems from the CVT transmission, and that cost them their reputation and the brand name. So, but some other manufacturers have perfected things. We'll see them progress. We've seen them continue to improve, and because of that, they are gaining more success, and people are beginning to trust the CVTs more than before. Now, in times past, I would say do not buy the CVT, but now it's a choice thing. You will choose to buy the CVT if you like how it drives, because we already have some bit of a record of those that are reliable and those that are not. So we'll reel out the ways you can preserve these CVTs, make them last long. And the number one way is what? To avoid aggressive driving. You don't want to drive like you're driving a sports car that has a traditional automatic or a manual transmission. You want to ignore all those sports mode, all those excessive fast driving. Typically, you don't want to exceed 140 kilometers per hour or 90 miles per hour in your driving. This is so that the transmissions don't overwork themselves. Remember, they are sensitive, more sensitive than your traditional automatic or the manual transmissions. So you don't want to overwork them, especially over a long period of time, maybe a journey or a trip. So you want to drive smoothly, not aggressive, and not at excessive high speeds. The number two way is with your takeoff. Now, when you're taking off with a CVT, you want to typically move smoothly and accelerate gradually. I know some people have fun just stepping, flooring their throttles and going fast so that they can have this fun as they drive. Now, with your CVT, that's going to cause more damage than good to the car. You want to accelerate gradually. You want to gain momentum gradually as you drive so that your CVTs will last longer. You don't want to go as fast as you really want to. Now, some cars, some brands have made it easier by creating what they call a launch gear. Now, in a CVT, typically, it's made up of two pulleys and a belt connecting them. One of the pulleys connects to the transmission and the other one to the engine, and they are joined by a belt. So they don't have real gears. They just roll depending on how the engine and the speeds change. But some cars, like I said, have made it easier by creating a launch gear. I've seen that in Toyota Corollas. So rather than just go the CVT way, there's something like that works like a gear one. So this helps with the problems that come from aggressive or extremely fast takeoffs. So when you have that launch gear, it reduces and minimizes problems for the CVT from such aggressive cars. But some vehicles that don't have that launch gear, it's still important for you to adhere to this tip or this rule of taking off gradually rather than an aggressive takeoff. The third way you can help your CVTs last long is by avoiding overheating of any sort. Now, engines run better when they run hot. So you want to keep your thermostat intact, you want to keep all those components running well. But with the transmission, they are better when they are, when they have a lot of air in them. So that's why some people have introduced air coolers and things like that in their transmissions. But when you can't have air coolers and things like that, you want to take that precaution of ensuring that the vehicle does not overheat. Overheating, as much as it hurts your engine, hurts your transmission, and especially this sensitive CVT transmission. So whether it's problems with your fans, your coolant, or anything at all that can trigger overheating, once you notice overheating, pull over, don't stretch the car more, because as much as it may cause damage for your engine, it may still cause damage for your transmission. Now, the fourth way you can ensure that your vehicle with CVT lasts longer is by avoiding towing of any sort. Do not tow your vehicles. Do not use your vehicles as a towing van, especially when it has a CVT, because it's not built for that. That is a lot of wear and tear for the car and for the transmission especially. So you want to avoid towing of any sort with your vehicle with a CVT. The fourth way to make your CVTs last for a long time, as long as possible, is by changing your transmission fluid every 20 to 30,000 miles. Now, a lot of CVT vehicle owners, and in fact, traditional automatic transmission car owners, hardly ever change their transmission oils. They don't check it. They don't know anything about it. They don't even look at that area. They only are concerned or ask questions or seek opinions when this transmission star misbehaving. You can get away with this with well-made automatic transmissions, but if you own a CVT, particularly the ones that were not made with high quality, you're going to run into problems if you neglect transmission changes. So to be safe and to use that vehicle with a CVT transmission for a long time, you have to change the transmission fluid every 20 to 30,000 miles. Now, if your readings are in kilometers, use 40 to 50,000 kilometers to change your transmission fluid. If you can change them earlier, if you use these vehicles aggressively or in more adult situations, the better. But if you're going to prolong things, you're risking your vehicle, the lifespan of your CVT, and you're making things complicated, and you can't have as much life from that CVT as possible. The last way we would recommend you make your CVTs last long is by always checking for leaks. Now, a lot of people under their car, there are leaks from the engine, from the power steering, or from any other system. You want to make sure that these leaks are not from your transmission with a CVT, because leaks from a CVT can bring about low level fluids, and if you run out of fluids or the fluids get too low, you can condemn or kill that transmission. So you want to make sure you're checking for leaks and solving any problem related to leaks from your engine or transmission area at all times. I hope that we've been of help to you if you own a CVT transmission vehicle or if you plan to own one. Kindly like our video, subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment. Thank you.